Okay, so this is Self-Care Sunday. Self-care is wealth care. When you take care of your money, you take care of yourself. When you take care of your money, you love yourself. When you take care of your money takes care of you. So that's why I take care of my money, because I want my money to take care of me. So let's talk about hiring your kids to work in your home-based business. One of the biggest questions that people ask me is this: what can my child do in my home-based business? Oh my goodness, I am so glad you asked. First of all, let me talk to you about child labor laws. The child labor laws in the United States basically say that your child can work in your home-based business for any number of hours at any time of the day. So there are no child labor laws regulating when a child can work in your home-based business, as long as it's non-agricultural work. It cannot be farming, it cannot be manufacturing, it cannot be mining, and it cannot be anything that's dangerous, all right? It also can't be anything that is illegal, unethical, or unhealthy for a child. So they can't serve alcohol and things like that. So outside of that, there are many things that a child can do to work in your home-based business. Well, first of all, why do you want your child to work in your home-based business? There are 12,400 reasons per child. Okay? The IRS says when you hire your child to work in your home-based business, you can pay each child up to $12,400 a year. That money is a tax write-off to you. That's huge. That's huge. The money that you pay them, it is tax-free to them. So when a child works for a parent in the parent's home-based business, I'm not talking about your corporation, I'm not talking about your restaurant, I'm not talking about any of those businesses. This is your home-based business. Then it's a tax write-off to you, the money that you pay to them, and the money that they earn from you is tax-free up to the first $12,400. So if you have 2 children, that's $24,800 in tax write-offs. If you have 3 children, like me, that's $37,200 in additional tax write-offs. That's an amazing amount of money to save on your taxes. If you are in the 25% tax bracket and you have $10,000 in write-offs, then you're going to save $2,500 on your taxes. So that's pretty much how it goes, all right? So this is a benefit. But what can your child do to work in your home-based business? Well, I'm so glad you asked. First of all, the Department of Labor says that children at any age, children can do these things. They can deliver newspapers. They can perform in radio, TV, movie, and theatrical productions. They can also work in a business owned by their parents, as we stated. They can do babysitting. They can do minor chores in a private home. Okay, so I'm going to combine these things into one. What happens if you have an infant or a very small child? So first of all, I think little children who have iPads can work. Yeah, if you can work an iPad, you can work a job. That means you can go on the social media and pick all of the blue cars for mommy in her home-based business or something to that effect. So, but literally, what can an infant do in a home-based business? Well, guess what? It says that a child of any age can work in radio, TV, movie, and theatrical production. So if I had an infant, and if I had to pay $200 a week for daycare, $400 a month for formula and diapers, no, I would hire that child to perform in my home-based business by modeling in one of my advertisements. So if you have a home-based business, if you've taken how to start a home-based business, then you know with me, not only do I tell you how to start a home-based business, but I also tell you why you need a home-based business. And then I teach you how to set that business up properly from a marketing perspective. So if I had an infant or a toddler, those infants and toddlers, they can model for those big diaper and baby food commercials, then guess what? They can model for your commercial on your Instagram or in your home-based business or on your brochures and things like that. So that's how you take care of the infants. You would actually go through all the processes of hiring them. Now, I talk about that in my webinar, how to hire your kids and get your money back. Okay, so if you want all the details, all the steps, you should take that webinar. Really, you should join the Entrepreneurs Academy so you can get it all. But if you just want that piece, you can do that. Now, here's some chores. I have my chores checklist for my own children. Yes, my children did chores. First of all, parents, you are complaining because your children have a sense of entitlement. They don't want to do any work, but you made them that way. You gave them more than you had. You bought them stuff you couldn't afford. You did all these things, and now you're upset because your child has a sense of entitlement. Well, here's one way to bring entitlement all the way back around and give your children a reality check. Children should do chores. They should be responsible. They should have responsibilities. And now, guess what? You can pay those children to do those chores in your home-based business, and everybody wins, okay? So now they see a direct link between working and getting paid. You're teaching them how to be entrepreneurs at a young age. You're saving money on your taxes, and it's all a win-win. So what can they do? Well, let me start with the younger kids, okay? So this is Kennedy's checklist from when she was about 5, 6 years old. So these are some of the things that she had to do. In the bathroom, she had to remove the garbage from the upstairs bathroom and put it downstairs in the big garbage. Okay, that was really easy, right? In the laundry room, she had to straighten up, she had to sweep, she had to take the shoes that we left in the laundry room, because the laundry room was near the door where the garage was, so we take off our shoes. So she had to straighten up those shoes, or she had to take them to the appropriate rooms. In the office, she had to move everything off the desk. She had to wipe the desk off. She had to clean it nicely. She had to straighten up everything that was on the floor, because my kids had their own office, because they also worked and they had their own office when they were young children. They did not have TVs in their rooms. The only TV that they could watch was the one that was in their office, or the one that was in our family room. Upstairs in the hallway, she had to vacuum. Yep, she could vacuum. She could do that when she was 6 years old. And in her room. So my children, when I was too broke to have a housekeeper, my children had to change their own linen. Yes, my little bitty children had to change their own linen. So it was 3 of them. So they had to work together. Okay, the 2 little ones, you get at this end, you get at that end. I showed them how to put the sheet on the bed and to fit it. I didn't sleep in that bed, so I wasn't going to change the sheets. Okay, I'm not doing all of that work. It's too much. All right, so the children could do those chores. So she could hang up clothes, she could fold clothes. These are some of the things that your 5, 6-year-old child can do. My child did it. And I'm not going to say it was easy in the beginning, because they fuss, they complain. And you know, the number one way that a child gets out of doing chores is to do them incorrectly, because they're counting on you to get frustrated. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not going to get frustrated. Well, no, I am going to get frustrated, but you're going to be much more frustrated than me. If you frustrate me, I'm going to frustrate you back, and I'm going to win. So as parents, we have to stick together. You have to stand up for your rights, okay? Now, when they're a little older, here's some of the things that they can do. So my children had to also clean the bathroom. You had to clean the toilet, and I showed them how to do it. And you do not clean the toilet with the same rag that you use to wipe off the sink. Okay, that's nasty, right? So you teach them how to do that, and you teach them how to do it properly. Also, when you're gonna wipe off the sink in a bathroom, you actually have to move everything off of it and then wipe it, and then wipe those things off and then put them back. Have you ever gone into the bathroom after your child did the chores and you try to move the soap dish and it's stuck to the doggone sink? Okay, something didn't go right here. All right, so that's something that you want to take care of. Clean the sink, clean the tub. You can sweep. In the family room, she also had to wipe off the television because it would be a little dusty, straighten up, vacuum, take the clothes upstairs, things like that. And then also she had chores in her room. Then my oldest child, laundry. She had to take all the clothes from upstairs and bring them downstairs and actually wash them. Yep. She could actually wash clothes. The hardwood floor, she had to sweep those hardwood floors. The ceramic floor, she had to sweep those and mop. The hardwood floor, she had to polish. It was just a little hallway area that she had to do. Dishes. Everybody has to do dishes. Okay. In the office, clean the desk. Bedroom, change sheets, wipe things off. So your children can do chores. Yes, they can do chores. And it's not going to kill them. And I don't care what other people's children are not doing, because I remember once going to a meeting with a club that I was in, a very prominent club for African American families. And I should say it's an organization. And I was talking to my kids about the chores, and one of the moms came over to me. She said, "Your kids actually do chores?" I said, "Yeah, yours don't." It's something wrong. See, here's the reason why these children go off to college. They nasty. They don't know how to clean their rooms. They leave in their underwear everywhere. I've had to deal with that with my children, with some of their roommates and this, that, and the other. And the reason why they're nasty is because you did not teach them how to clean. Teach your children how to clean, okay? It's nasty when they grow up, especially if you're a young lady and you grow up, you think you're gonna have a man and you're nasty, you don't know how to cook, don't know how to clean. That's just wrong. So you can start at a young age, and guess what? You can also earn some money at the same time. Now, there are other things that your children can do in your business. Children can do bookkeeping. They can help file. My children helped at my events. My oldest daughter, she said, "Oh yeah, I've been selling books since I was 9." Right. So they could do all of these things. Your child can work in your home-based business. The government says so. The Small Business Association thought it was so important that you hire your kids to work in your home-based business that they wrote a whole article about it. Okay. They wrote a whole entire article about it. The IRS says if you hire your kids, then we will allow you to not only write the money off, but the kid doesn't have to pay any taxes on it up to the first $12,400. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have $12,400. You don't have to have a whole $12,400, okay? You can pay them $5,000. You can pay them $2,000. My suggestion is this. Pay them whatever you were going to spend anyway, okay? So if you were going to spend money for summer camp, if you were going to spend money on karate, football, ballet classes, cheerleading, field trips at school, if you were going to spend money on that stuff, you were going to spend that money anyway, all right? But you don't get it back. Now, here's a couple of things. When you hire your child to work in your home-based business, that is independent of whether or not you file them as a dependent on your tax return. It's two different things. Two completely different things, okay? So if you're the non-custodial parent and you don't claim them on your taxes, you can still hire them to work in your home-based business. As a matter of fact, I encourage couples to work together on this. Instead of taking each other to court for child support, hire the kid to work in your home-based business, pay the child the money, okay? Now you're going to get the money, and now it's a tax write-off, okay? So for those of you who have amicably dissolved your relationship or your marriage or what have you, here's a way to not only build entrepreneurship in your family, but also to save money on your taxes at the same time, okay? So children can work in the home-based business of a parent. This also applies if you are the guardian, okay? So if you are standing in as a parent. So if you are the grandparent, my grandmother raised me, right? If you're the grandparent, if you're the aunt, if you're the older sibling taking care, this also works as well. So hire your kids to work in your home-based business. Everybody needs a home-based business. Everybody needs a home-based business. One stream of income is hazardous to your wealth. So for all of you who have your kids at home and they don't go to school anymore because of the pandemic and all of that stuff, while your kids are at home, this is a great time to hire your kids to work in your home-based business. And now the things that you buy for them, they can buy for themselves. You get a tax deduction. Therefore, you pay less taxes. They don't pay any money on it. And it's a win-win for everybody. Now, how's that for self-care is wealth care? Go to my website at LynnRichardson.com. Get started. How to start a home-based business, the Entrepreneurs Academy, how to hire your kids. I've got a whole plethora of classes and books to help you along your journey. Okay, bye-bye.